What is going on, guys? We are back, and today we're going to be starting another brand new Surviving With series, which is going to be Surviving with Thaumcraft. So yes, we're going to have two Surviving With series running at the same time. One techie one, which just started yesterday, which is Surviving with RotaryCraft, and one magic one, which of course we are starting right now, which is, like I said, Surviving with Thaumcraft. So a lot of you guys requested Thaumcraft, and a couple other people voiced their opinions about it, and they weren't super excited to see Thaumcraft. They were a little worried that it would take a lot of prep work, that it might be a little boring, and it's overused on YouTube, but we're going to have some fun with it. I think we're up for the challenge, so hopefully you guys have faith in me being able to make this entertaining and informative, and hopefully you'll bear with me. So there are a couple things I want to talk about, like usual, whenever we start a series, and I'm just going to start punching down some trees because we are burning through daylight right now, and got to do all the regular prep work. So one thing that we're going to be doing with this series, and actually first off, I did change the mods a little bit, so the mod list as always is in the description, along with the seed, which is DrRageHardTC for Thaumcraft. But yeah, something that I'm going to do a little bit differently with this series is I might do a little bit more prep work off camera, because if you guys don't know, Thaumcraft does require a decent amount of prep work, which is, like I said, one of the things that a couple people were a little bit worried about. But do not worry, I will have more than enough time to do this, and I will make sure that we're not doing a ton of just boring stuff on camera. So, yeah, that is one thing that I wanted to just get out of the way right off the bat. Also, I was told that I should tell longer stories, possibly, you know, personal stories if we're ever doing anything that might be slightly boring while I'm recording, so I might do that. I don't really have any crazy funny stories or anything, or at least I don't think I do, but if you guys want to see stuff like that while we're doing some of the, you know, grunt work for Thaumcraft, feel free to let me know. But for now, I think I got enough wood to hopefully start mining for some stuff and go do a little bit of exploring. So I think what I'm going to do is go find some place to shack up, maybe kill some cows to get some food, get all the starter stuff ready so that we can jump right into the Thaumcraft stuff. So I will talk to you guys once I've got all that boring stuff out of the way. Okay guys, so we are back, and I think I've got everything gathered up and ready to go so that we can jump right into Thaumcraft. And there's actually a lot of different stuff that we can do today and kind of have to do to get things started. So, you know, I thought I'd suggest that maybe when we're doing all this crafting stuff for Thaumcraft, I just, you know, start humming some danger music so that it's a little bit more exciting, you know? Maybe it'll be like, ooh, we could do like action music. It'll be like you're watching Top Gun Thaumcraft edition. That was a horrible joke, actually, but Top Gun is a good movie, let it be known. Okay, so that was a little bit random, but we're going to start by making a wand, because we all know that if you want to be like in Harry Potter or, you know, a wizard or whatever, you need a wand so that you can cast spells and whatnot. So if we go look at the wands, the easiest one to make is the iron-capped wooden wand. It's able to hold 100 of every vis, or every element, whatever you want to call it. And it's pretty easy to make. It's going to take a stick and then some iron caps. And luckily, I did manage to find a little bit of iron. And I got some glass in here too, and some food. A lot of stuff cooking in there. But what we can do is make some sticks, and then we have to take iron. You're going to need to take 2 pieces, turn them into iron nuggets, because it's going to take 10 to make 1 cap, or 2 caps, and you're going to have 8 left over. This is going to bother me so much, but there we go. We have an iron-capped wooden wand, and the minute we pull this out in our inventory, or the minute we pull it into our hand, you're going to see up in the top left corner this little UI that popped up, and there's a lot of green arrows, and they're kind of freaking out, and that pretty much means that all the different vis up there is filling up from all the, you know, auras around us. I don't actually know the terminology for this stuff, so bear with me, I'm going to look it up later, but the elements up there or whatnot are filling up, and that's because it's just getting all from around us. And if you really wanted to, you could hold down shift and you can see the actual numbers up there, but if you didn't feel like doing that, you can go into your inventory and you can hover over it, and it will update in real time as to how much it can hold, and you can see it's pretty much just going down the line, all going up by 1 every like second or so, and that is great. So now that we have that, we can actually, you know what, I'll keep this out, we'll keep it in the hand. So what we can do now is go and make our thaumonomicon, and this is great because all these different mods all have these great pretty much in-game wikis. They have these books, and unfortunately we don't get a freebie like we did with RotaryCraft, where you've got, you know, RotaryCraft, ElectroCraft, and ReactorCraft books in your hand when you spawn. You do actually have to make this one, and to do it we're going to need to get a bookshelf, so we're going to need to make 3 books, which means we're going to need 9 pieces of paper, and go like this. Okay, there we go, we got the books, and get the bookshelf, there we go. Okay, so we got the bookshelf, and what we can do is, let's just throw it down. Let's put all our stuff over here. One thing I can note too is a lot of you guys said, like I've mentioned before, that you thought this might be a little bit boring. So I thought another aspect that I could add to this might be aesthetics, try and make things look cool. So I kind of tried, and I don't know if it looks nice, but there's a nice little entrance out here because we're in a really wooded area. It's got a nice lake out front, a lot of flowers. It's a flower forest. You know me, I love flowers. Oh my gosh, of course that guy's there. Do we want to do this? Okay, how do we do this? How do we do this, guys? How do we? Please don't blow up. Please don't. Can I get this? Oh, oh, okay. Oh, 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 oh. What? What? Okay, there we go. There we go. Back inside. Let's get back in the house. It's been nighttime for a really long time right now. But okay, so we got this. Now what we got to do is we got to right click on the bookshelf. Oh, and there we go. We got a very fancy little item on the ground. Nice little fancy twinkly noise. I don't know how to describe that noise. Twinkly sounds like the right word, but that's not really a noise. Okay, so we just right clicked on that and we got the thaumonomicon. And like I said, this is pretty much like all the other books you're going to have. We had one for immersive engineering. Didn't actually have one for IC2, but we have one for RotaryCraft and all that stuff. So now we click on it and oh, it's like a galaxy in here. That actually looks really cool. Okay, but essentially this is going to be all the different things that we can research in here. So we've got the thaumonomicon, and then we've got this right here, which is how you discover things. And I already know how to do a lot of this stuff, so I'm kind of breezing through it. But if you do need help on finding things out, like how you can do research, you can use this. But what we're looking for now is research expertise. And what it says is, obviously it says knowledge is power, which is true, but you need scribing tools and paper to get this research note. So what we need to do is make scribing tools. So first things first, what I guess we should do is go and make a table. So there's a lot of this basic stuff that we do have to craft, and I'm kind of just like jumping from one thing to another, but we need to make a wooden table first. There are stone tables, but we're not going to use that right now. So we take some of our wood, we make these oak slabs, and then we make a table real quick. And we'll throw that down over here again, and we can right click, and it's going to make an arcane workbench. Now this is pretty much a crafting table, except you have your wand in here. Do not worry, it does take it out of your inventory right away when you craft this, but that's because it's just putting it into the UI. There is a spot for the wand, because you can craft things in here for Thaumcraft, and they're going to use the elements or vis. I keep, switching between those two, but let's say vis, that are in your wand, and that's what these kind of circles here are for. When you're going to craft something, it's going to tell you what they cost there. But you can also use like a regular crafting bench. So like that, we can just make a chest in there, which is great because the RotaryCraft one does not let you do that. But I'm going to keep a regular crafting bench over there just because, we might as well separate it. It's like separation of church and state kind of. Not really at all, but you get the idea. But now that we have this, we can go and make files, because that is what we're going to need to make the scribing tools. Because if we look at scribing tools, you can see it's got a nice little feather, some ink, and a glass file. So we need that. And to make the glass file, we're going to be using glass and clay. So yeah, I did grab the glass out of here. So what we got to do is take the glass, and I got a ton of clay, which is great. And we get 8 files for this one recipe. And there we go. Now what we do is we take the file, we take the feather, and we take the ink sac, and we're going to get scribing tools. Now one thing to note is these will lose the ink in them, okay? As you use them, they will lose ink or durability, whatever you want to call it. But what you can do is when it completely empties out, you can either go and make more using more files, or you can just refill your one you already have and save a file, save a feather, and just use another ink sac, which is great if you don't want to get, a ton of just used up scribing tools and waste a bunch of feathers and files. I don't think you'd waste that many, but in the long run, it probably totals up. So now that we've got scribing tools, all we need to do is make one more set of paper so that we can get these research notes going. So we got the paper in our inventory, we got the scribing tools in our inventory, and now what we need to do is get the thaumonomicon out, and we're going to do, right here you can see, click to get research note for this research. So we click, and it makes a little ding, and it makes a little writing, and all that fancy stuff, and you already have this research note if you look at this now. And we open up our inventory, used up paper, this now has a durability on it, and we have a research note. That is great, but now what do we do with this research note? So what we have to do is we have to go make another table, and we're going to take that table, and we're going to throw it down right over here, and then we're going to take the scribing tools, and we're going to right click on this. And it pretty much does the same thing that you got with the arcane workbench. It's going to take the scribing tools, it's going to put them into the actual table where they can go, and now there's a ton of stuff going on here. So pretty much this is where you're going to do research. And I guess it's a little bit easier to explain if I actually throw the research notes in here into this slot up here. So this is pretty much the part of Thaumcraft that I feel a lot of people either get lost at or get bored with, because when you're doing research like this, it's kind of trial and error to start out. At least with this one it will be. And this one will help us out with the future ones a lot, and it's not a huge puzzle. A lot of them are bigger than this and more complicated than this, but what you're pretty much doing here is you're trying to connect these. So Ordo, Census, and Cognito, you're trying to connect those using these over here. And it's a little bit complicated in the sense that you're going to take these, you're going to click them into the hexagons, and you can either get it right, in which case it'll start a link, and if you don't, you get it wrong, you pretty much lose it, you waste it. It's kind of hard to explain, but essentially the way this works is Census and Ordo and Cognito are all related to these right over here, but you can't see which ones they're related to yet. But essentially, you're going to want to link Census to Ordo and Cognito by linking these together, and you can actually mix them, and that's how you're going to link them totally by, if you were to click on, this and this, you could link them down here and create a new one. Now, I don't want to do that, so we're going to get rid of them, but if you wanted to create a new one, which we will, you're going to do that. So I actually know what this is. We're going to want to go over here, and to start off, we'll start with Census, and we have air in Census, so we're going to click that right. Oh my gosh. We drag it right there. Okay, so you can see, made the little writing noise again, cool little zap, all that stuff. This has great sound effects, but you can see it makes this link right here between these two. So we got it right, and now what we can do is go over to Cognito and start moving that over there too. Now I know that Ignis is in Cognito, so I'm going to throw that right there, and you can see another link, more awesome sound effects. But now we need to link these two, so air and fire. So what do? We take this, and we combine them. And what does that get us? It gets us Lux. If you play League of Legends, it's a really annoying champion. If you don't, it's combining Ignis and air. But what we can do now is throw this down here, and you can see these are now linked. So we've successfully linked those two, and now what we need to do is link Ordo to the rest of this. So what we need to do is take air and take Ordo, and we're going to combine those. Oh, wait, nope, that was not the correct one, unfortunately. That actually wasn't the right one. I'm trying to think, I'm forgetting right now what I need to... Oh, you know what, I think it's Ignis and Ordo. So we link those, and that's what we need. We need Potentia. So, messed up a little bit on that one. You can see it does consume them, and we did get Modus, which is not what we wanted. That is my bad. Forgot for a second, but we want Potentia, and that's going to go right here. And now we have one last link left, and that is just going to be another Ignis, which is going to go right here. And you can see it makes that ding again, and it does some writing, and then it completes this. Now we can't screw with this at all. It makes a weird noise when we click it. But now we have this discovery, which says right click to learn this discovery, research experience, and then it's got the whole knowledge is power thing. So then we can take that out of there, and what we can do is we can right click, another ding, and we've got research completed, research expertise. So now if we open this up, you can see there's a star next to it, and we've gone to the next one, which is research mastery, which we need scribing tools and paper to get this, and yeah, okay, so we're not going to get into that yet, but now that we've researched this and we click on it, you've become more efficient at performing research. Whenever you remove an aspect that you've placed in a hex, there's a 25% chance you will regain the research point. Okay, so pretty much what that means is when we're working with stuff and we've got all the different aspects over here, if we put in an incorrect one and right click it out, usually you'd lose that. You'd 100% lose that without this, but now we actually have a chance of getting it back, so when I screw up, it actually won't be that bad. Also, it's going to allow us to see, when I was mentioning like the things in Census and Cognito, all of those things in Ordo, it's going to let us see what's in those so that we know a little bit where we're going to be jumping off when we start doing research. So if we want to look a little bit more into this, let's see. Lastly, it gives you the ability to consume a knowledge fragment to add 1 point to each primal. So we're not going to get into that yet, but yeah, you're also able to see what aspects you need to combine to create an aspect you are hovering over. So that is the research expertise. So we've made it through a lot of the beginning steps today. One thing I want to say, I guess there's a couple things I want to say before we jump off, is that I understand if you guys aren't going to want to watch both series, or if you find this series boring or something like that. I'm doing this because I want to help people and because I've never really delved, or I didn't really, delve that deep into Thaumcraft when I first played it, and I haven't touched it for a while now. So that's why I'm doing this. I don't expect you guys to love this. If you really like rotary craft, feel free to watch that. If you really like this, feel free to watch this. If you like me and want to watch both, then more power to you. But trust me, I don't expect you to enjoy all of these. I know that this might be boring for some people, as you've already, kind of expressed your feelings on that. So do not feel bad if you don't want to watch this. Another thing, I know there's a lot of research in this, so I might do research off camera, but most of the time it's probably going to be that I come on here after doing the research and getting it all down in creative, and then I'll come on here and I'll have the research ready to go to show you guys how to do it. We'll make it on camera, but I won't be trying to do trial and error on camera, so that won't take a ton of time. It shouldn't be super boring, and it'll be able to allow you guys to see the research if you're having trouble with it, but it'll also prevent us from taking, like an hour to do it. So hopefully that's a good idea. If you guys have any suggestions on how to make this a better series, because like I said, a lot of people are worried about this, feel free to post it in the comments. But other than that, guys, thanks for watching. If you found the video informative or entertaining in any way, please feel free to give it a like, as it does help me out a lot, and I will talk to you guys later.